that we had. I think everyone is back. I don't think everyone is back yet. I hope that not many people have dropped off while waiting for the meeting to start. I'm sorry that process was not as seamless as it was supposed to be. Apologies for that. I hope that we had very rich conversations in our individual groups, and I'm also extremely conscious of time. So the next item on our agenda is to give updates on the session reports by the rapporteurs of each of the sessions. So yes, I hope we all had very exciting conversations, but we're going to give the next 5 minutes to each of the rapporteurs for each of the sessions that were hosted to give us an update of what was discussed in each of the individual rooms. So we'll take this in turns for session 1, group 1, 2, 3, and finally 4. So if I could call on the rapporteur for the first breakout group. After this, if you have any questions or comments about any of the contributions in the groups, we would have 10 minutes or 5 minutes to take that. And after that, we'll take the next steps and we would close for the day. All right, so our rapporteur for session 1 was Gabriel. Gabriel, you can unmute your mic, please. Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so at the breakout session 1, the topic we considered was building capacity of the Nigerian youth in web literacy and ICT skills. This session was moderated by Joshua Josh, and we had 2 speakers, Adedayo, Adenrele, and Femini Oladapo. So we considered how web literacy will be built for the Nigerian youth in the era of COVID, but I would like to start with the challenges that were highlighted by the speakers during the session. Some of the challenges that were highlighted that hinders capacity building in web literacy, high cost of data and internet services, access to internet-enabled devices, poor power supply, and we have indiscipline of youth towards learning themselves, and also there is lack of collaboration between organizations. So the recommendations that came as a result of the conversation were this. So there needs to be collaboration between public and private sectors. There should be partnership. This partnership will help to actually negate most of these challenges that are mentioned here. So, for instance, we have public schools who have no access to power supply. The government can come in and make power supply available in those regions. And also, let's say we have companies like telecommunications companies who can also provide support to these communities by creating ICT centers for learning in such on-the-side communities. This can also help Nigerian youth in building web literacy. So talking about schools, so one of the things that was mentioned is also to build capacity for teachers who are in schools. Most of the teachers in schools lack the technical know-how in also teaching the students in web literacy. So they need to actually build capacity for teachers. Also, people need to adapt to the current change. So, like I said, there is indiscipline towards learning, and also to actually meander this, people need to be able to adapt to change. They need to be able to come into the knowledge that this is what I need and this is what is needed for the future. All right. Also, we also talk about there is need to build communities. So, communities in terms of people coming together. not just working in silos, people coming together to actually create a community of learners where learners can actually go to learners and mentors where they can actually access information, readily available information. Let's say, for instance, there is a session going on ICT here. People who attend that thing should be able to reach out to trainers or even reach out to their kids to actually learn more on what they have received. And finally, there is need to provide alternative means of learning. So because not everybody would have access to the internet, the part of the thing I was talking about, there is actually provision for alternative means of learning using offline content strategy in such a way that where organizations can put content or materials for learning in devices that can be accessible in offline methods. Thank you very much. Hello, Ufa. Are you there?
Yes, and I was just trying to share my screen. Okay, thank you very much, Gabriel, for that update on the session one, building capacity of the Nigerian youth in web literacy and ICT skills in the era of COVID-19. We're going to call on the rapporteur for session two. If you're online, you can unmute your mic and go ahead, please. Rapporteur for session two. Okay, Peter, if you're ready, you can go on. That's the session three report. Okay. Yeah, you have permission to speak now.
Okay, thank you for. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know.
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. On session 3 report, on the panelists, we have Adenike Ajuwon and Joseph Jones. The topic we actually look is on impact of connectivity on e-business and e-commerce in Nigeria. We looked at different challenges that actually impacted e-business in Nigeria, such as digital divide. And digital divide was categorized into two, which is material access and usability issues. So we looked at about ICT infrastructure in the area of gadget, in the area of bandwidth, in the area of cabling, in the area of services available, the band constraints that we have in Nigeria. We talked on lack of literacy that is actually affecting e-business online and e-commerce. We touch on trust in the e-business environment in such a way that it affects the business, and recommendation has been made already. We looked at how policy and regulatory issues is affecting e-business in Nigeria. We looked at the logistic issues aspect, the policy changes, and how that is affecting platform business in Nigeria. These are just on the challenge. On the recommendation, it's actually called the state government. They need to do more in laying of cables, like they should adopt the kind of approach that Lagos State is actually doing right now. And a call was issued as well to the Lagos State government to do more. That's the 3,000-kilometer fiber optic cable is not enough, but they can actually do more. We actually also agree that more should be done on access rather than fighting cybercrime with all the resources. That access should be given a top priority. Then our resources need to be channeled in ensuring accessibility, because when there is access, then business will thrive. So we looked at need for innovation in doing businesses in Nigeria. That our businesses in Nigeria needs to be innovative. We should stop doing business the same way we have been doing it. We should innovate. Then there is a call to also encourage non-real-time approach in doing business online, because most of the business that has been online, it's a real-time approach which require bandwidth, which require users to be available. But here, he said we should encourage business to use non-real-time approach in doing business, which emphasis actually was made on someone selling hamala and bokoto, that when there is accessibility, that person that can actually show you that bokoto, the way it look like and stuff like that. So it's a kind of an interesting discussion. So we also looked at the recommendation aspect, also looked at investing in low bandwidth and technology. That low bandwidth and technology will be encouraged. And also 5G will bring more opportunity in Nigeria, because in terms of it will make Nigeria to be part of equipment manufacturer in that area, and also bring more businesses on board to Nigeria. It also touch on, also recommend part of the recommendation also tell the youth to leverage on existing platform for businesses like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. They should leverage on that rather than creating a website when the resources is not that much. They can actually take their picture and put it online. And we also agree that online environment is yet to be saturated for Nigeria. That it's a virgin environment that we can still tap into. And there is a call for to the tech community to create ESCO platform where people can they can serve as intermediary in delivering effective services. And as well, there's a recommendation in terms of addressing trust, that business need to be decent and they need to implement processes and procedure in doing business. They need to implement some things that will make them to have effective communication, and they need to sell the right products, and also encourage Freelian platforms such as ESCO. So those are the things that we talked about and recommendation, just few aspects. So thank you.
Thank you for your extremely rich notes and reports, Peter. That was extremely useful. That was extremely useful to our participation. So going back to session 2, I'm going to call on Hussein Hamza. I'm giving you permission to speak now. So please unmute your microphone and go ahead, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. In our group, we discussed the key role of the youth on the global internet forum. We said about the important role the youth play in global economic internet economic. We say that the youth are at the forefront of using the internet as a tool for development, justice, and social change in our communities. Also, their advocacy activities promote a core principle of the network. We also talk about how the digital skills is very important in terms of a global economy, which is we have, which is very, very important. We have how we can educate. We talk about how the youth can be educated, and also the awareness, and also we talk about the way the judicial system play a major role in terms of security of internet cybercrime. We talk about the important role of which government can play, and also we talk about the government should empower the youth so as to engage them in more meaningful and constructive activities. We also talk about the importance of parents. Parents, as a matter of urgency, should monitor the activities of their wards on the internet based on the way the youth normally use their phones whenever they are around within their parents. We also talk about the cyber monitoring team should be set by schools to checkmate the effects of illegal activities of the youth operating the social media. We also talk about how we can guide the youth in terms of exposure. We talk about the most guide the youth. We must guide the youth and limit their exposure to the negativity of internet activities. We also talk about we must ensure appropriate law in place to protect them against the exposure of internet activities. We also talk about the channel. We must channel the activities on the social media to yield possible results. There are some recommendations that was made within ourselves, that is we should have adequate and effective online chat protection. The youth should be educated on the proper use of internet and social media. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hussein, for sharing with us. That was extremely coherent of you. So thank you very much. The final session 4, I was the rapporteur for that session, so I'll be giving the report. The session moderated by Pius Film from Eco Connect and was titled Cybersecurity and Cybercrime, enabling a secure and sustainable internet for all. Mostly we talked about the current state of cybersecurity in Nigeria with respect to cybercrime, and we looked at the different ways that cyber fraud can be, the origin of cyber fraud, the causes of cyber fraud and cybercrime in Nigeria, which we identified mostly to be due to low illiteracy, low standard of living, poverty, and then lack of role models for the young people in Nigeria to look up to for inspiration. So we also agreed that yes, we have a large population of young people who may currently be unemployed and are tech savvy. So we always know that even apart from the technology, when there are issues of when there are issues relating to standard of living and crime, it always stems from unemployment. So right now we're able to connect that to the increase of cybercrime, or why it is so attractive to the young people currently in Nigeria. And then we also talked about our own expected behavior in cyberspace. So what are the things that we should do and we should not do so that we remain secure online? We agreed that we shouldn't share sensitive information across online platforms. Even when someone calls on over the phone, we should have a strong defense for accessing our devices, and we should not just trust close friends. It shouldn't be a norm to share your passwords or your ID of some sort with your relatives, brothers, sisters, siblings, or partners, as the case may be. We're also made advised to make use of VPNs for working in sensitive fields, and to make use of encryption technology. And last but not the least, we also looked at how posting on social media can affect our security online, and we're advised to not overshare and always check what we put up, even if we're posting on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, taking pictures of ourselves. We should always be sensitive to what information we put up. And then we also had some guidelines for creating of passwords. We should make use of alphanumeric passwords or sentences using upper and lowercase characters, and then we should try to change our passwords ever so often. Then we looked at how some emerging technology relating to bioidentity and how this offers a higher level of security with new and emerging technologies, so like face IDs or fingerprint scans. And then we discussed the need to create enforceable laws and regulations around their use. And so we also looked at how one of our speakers introduced the NPDR, the Nigerian NDPR, the Nigeria Data Protection Regulation of 2019, and encourage everyone to follow through with familiarizing ourselves with it so that it can make its way into an enforceable law here in Nigeria. And then also we finally we also looked at communication methods and safety trainings, and we're also advised that as young people we should look towards organizing safety trainings to let our peers know about how we can all be safe online and protect ourselves and our loved ones from threats and anything that happens online. So I think that's it from me. At this point, we're going to use the next 5 minutes to take any questions or comments. Does anyone have anything they would like to share? Any inputs to any of the reports shared? We're going to take 5 minutes to please respond to any of that before we take the next steps and then our closing. So does anyone have any contributions to share as closing, as final contributions to our discussions today? Okay, if you have any comments or questions, you're welcome to make use of the chat function to share your inputs, and also to make use of the Q&A option to put in a question if it's a question, so that we all see. Or if it's a comment and you just want to share it on the chat, please feel free to do that. If there are no other questions, I will invite Gabriel to take on the next steps for our event. Gabriel.
Hello, thank you for having me again. Okay, so on next steps, as you know, this event is a 2-day event. Day one of it is having the youth IGF, the Nigerian Youth IGF and the Nigerian Women IGF holding their events parallel. So as we are holding ours at the moment, also the Women IGF having their events at the moment. So for tomorrow, we'll be having the Nigerian Internet Governance Forum, which is the 9th edition of this event. We'll be happening tomorrow. If I kindly help me share the slides if you have access to it. Thank you very much. So, okay, so you can use that link there to sign up for the event to register. Also, after this event, we will be working on the reports which will be uploaded on our website, on the Youth IGF website. So just look out for the website and keep checking. We are going to upload the reports from this forum there. Also, Q4 2020, we will continue to engage our community in webinar And also we will keep informing our community through our mailing list, and also we ensure that you follow us on our social media platform where you can get updates about the community. All right, and also finally in 2020 we are going to be having the global internet governance forum. Like I am mentioned at the opening ceremony. I will say that you can go through the URL provided there for you to sign up to attend this year's Internet Governance Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing those next steps with us, Gabriel. And so I think that officially brings us to the end of today's meeting. And first of all, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us today. Organizing this event and creating this community has been quite a challenge, and I know that everyone has been involved in a lot of uncertainty this year, but I'm very glad that the Nigerian young people have been able to gather once again to discuss about the internet issues that face us. Internet governance in Nigeria is not, internet governance among youth in Nigeria is a topic that should be and should always be at the forefront of our discussions, because as Nigerian young people, Nigeria has the highest young population in all of Africa, and we have a lot of contributions to make to the technology. We have seen it firsthand how it affects day-to-day life. Many of us here cannot go a full 24 hours without directly or indirectly depending on services that make us more comfortable, ICT services that make us more comfortable. So there's an urgent need for us to always have discussions like this that center around how we can ensure that the digital future is secure. How can we shape our digital future? What are the threats and the issues that would arise? How can we keep it open? How can we keep it private and secure? How can we make sure it is decentralized and everyone has a voice and all the stakeholders are on a level playing ground? How can we ensure that there's access to web literacy and ICT skills for young people like ourselves? And how can we basically ensure the inclusion of everyone? Access is still a big problem here in Nigeria, and we have heard from our high-level panelists how the different issues that can come up with bringing access to the rural areas. So yes, our community, this is our community. Like Gabriel said, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our mailing list. We are always seeking for different opportunities to further engage the Nigerian young people in internet governance and basically decipher how we can make a safe and secure internet here in Nigeria that is open and freely accessible for everyone. I would like to, before we close, I would just like to give a special appreciation to the NYIGF MAG for organizing and supporting. It's been very easy for us to continue in our planning, knowing that we have a lot of strong backing from our vibrant community. I would like to thank all the stakeholders who have contributed to this, all our experts. There's a lot of intelligence that has been shared in this meeting, and that was only successful because our experts are willing to contribute their time to sharing this information. So the idea here is to keep the ball rolling and to ensure that our fire is still burning, and our passion for ensuring the representation of Nigeria and of the Nigerian young people in the public policy discussion front with regards to the internet is always certain. So thank you, everyone. If you want to reach out to us on social media or on our emails, that's always open to everyone. We're going to send out invitations to join our mailing list to everyone who has been a part of this event to keep in touch with the community. So please make sure you do that. On behalf of the entire team of the Nigerian Youth Internet Governance Forum, I would like to bring the 2020 Virtual Nigerian Youth IGF event to a close. And I would like to say thank you once again for joining. I am Ufa Mode, and goodbye from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, thanks everyone, and hope you all have a very lovely day. Your time participating in this event has been appreciated. We will share the next steps with you.
Everyone, we'll be sending you an email for the feedback for this session. Kindly fill the feedback to help us in preparing for the next one and other events that we'll be doing. Thank you very much. We'll send the email soon.
Oh yes, and the email for the feedback form will be sent to all of our participants. So please ensure that you complete that. Your feedback is extremely important to us. You'll receive that in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye and have a lovely day. Thank you, Timothy, for your support.